We've got a lot to talk about, from the Archdruid upgrades, removal of the Tree of Silence for free-to-play players, and much, much more. So settle in for my thoughts on the 2023 St. Patrick's Day event. And yes, this video is a little late. I think we have to start with the most obvious thing, and that's the Archdruid Hut. As you probably already know by now, to get the Druid Hut to its final level where it actually provides the normal event building level boosts, you need the Archdruid Hut upgrade. The Druid Hut is somewhere down here in terms of good event buildingness, and that's what you can get for free, but the Archdruid Hut is up here, which is actually on par with other event buildings, but this isn't free. You see, this is the first event where it is nearly entirely impossible to get the fully leveled event building for free during the event. And the worst part, we aren't even relying on leagues anymore to where only 20% of players get the event building. Instead, you're stuck waiting a maximum of 150 days from the day that you place the Druid Hut. This can be reduced relatively easily to 100 days by completing 10 towns in the event, or to 50 by completing about 14 towns, and you can get it all the way down to 0 by completing about 18 or 19 towns. However, to get it down to 0 days, you are literally spending all day logged into the game grinding out the event, which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Most of us simply just don't have the time to spend in the game like that. I guess this leaves us, though, the players, with a rather important question. Can this event be considered pay to win? And my answer might surprise you a little based on my past videos, and that's no, but barely. Free players can get the main building fully leveled, but it costs 5 months of them having a much more inefficient building in their city compared to other event building. I wouldn't be bothered by the Archdruid Hut except for 2 tiny factors. 1, the level 9 Druid Hut is worse than normal event buildings, and 2, you can't get the fragments from the end of town boxes anymore. At least before, you had about a 60% chance at getting all the fragments after 10 towns, but now we're stuck running through the towns to try and get all the fragments. Players were upset with the luck factor, so they decided to just completely remove it rather than make a smarter change, such as giving a small guaranteed amount of Archdruid upgrade fragments in one of the boxes at the end of each town, kind of like how last year the Druid Temple upgrades were guaranteed to appear. Regardless, let's take a look at what we're stuck with. The Druid Hut at level 9 really isn't that great. Don't get me wrong, it's better than normal tech tree buildings, but it doesn't stack up against modern event buildings. It's only once we get it to the Archdruid Hut that it is actually competitive, and so that's what we'll talk about. With that in mind, my opinion of the Archdruid Hut is as follows. It's alright. The design is cool. Despite its cost of $15 or 150 days of your time, it isn't better than a normal event building. It's nice that it gives trees, but it would have been a pretty good building if it provided a small chance, say 5 to 10% at getting Tree of Silence fragments. I will say though that I'm really getting tired of event buildings giving fragments. Whenever you collect your city, you just get a pop-up of all these fragments that you got. Please, just combine this into one window already. And now we can talk about the trees, or rather, 2 of them. We can only get the Trees of Patience and Vitality for free, so let's look at them. I'm not a fan of how they need roads, but with how powerful the trees are as a whole, I'm cool with that, and I can understand why. The Tree of Patience could be better, but as we'll be getting one a month in perpetuity, that's understandable. The one I really want to talk about though is the Tree of Vitality. I like it a lot. It's basically what made the golden crops from a few fall events ago good, but in a little bitty 1x1 building. The Tree of Silence isn't too bad, but I'm not wasting $15 for it, so can't bring myself to care. Now, I will say that there is one thing that I really like about this event. And no, it's not the minigame, which I do enjoy, but rather that there are no daily specials and your progression is mainly limited by the speed at which you complete towns, because this basically means that you can complete the quests at your own speed. As long as you're getting enough pots of gold to cover however many managers you want to buy, you're set. In other events, it's usually all about saving your event currency for specific daily specials, which means that you generally have to rush through the event quests, but here you don't have to. It's something small, but it's nice not having to deal with that extra bit of stress, and it makes the event that much more relaxing. The event minigame has to be the most unique of any event we've gotten, except for potentially the upcoming anniversary events, which will be painful, just letting you know. It requires you to be very precise. I was a huge fan of Cookie Clicker and other idle games back in the day, so this event is one of my favorites generally, which is also one of the reasons that I've been so critical of it. And just for a little bit of fun, every St. Patrick's Day event, usually on my tiny town, I try to get as far as possible in one town. Currently this is where I am with my festival at level 350 and my ship nearly the same. I produce over 4 quadrillion shamrocks per hour, and have you ever seen this ship move this fast? It's practically flying. I'll keep you updated with how far I got in my Tiny Town update video, which should be coming out sometime in the near future. And I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about for this video today. Let me know what you thought of this style of event thoughts video, and stay tuned for the St. Patrick's Day story later this week. Hint, it's really bad. And take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.